Hi, everybody. This is Jeff Fowler with the Apartment Owners Association. It's great to have you with us today. We're going to be going over some balcony compliance issues and maybe get to security deposits. And anyway, we're really excited to have you with us. And if you haven't noticed, we did update the 3-day notices, and so make sure you're using the newest one there, and don't use the old one because there's a real key thing that needs to be in there now. You have to write in the date that the notice is served, and anyway, so don't miss that. And anyway, so there's so many different things to keep you in, so many different things to cover. Um, just generally speaking. So we're really excited about having the trade show. It's coming up next week. It's free for members and non-members alike. Excuse me. And it's at the Long Beach Convention Center. And it's an all-day event, free, but you can bring an unwrapped toy. And we have Union Rescue Mission that will be collecting all of that and then distributing them to kids in need. And so that should be pretty cool. So bring a unwrapped toy if you can. This live stream is sponsored by Dr. Balcony. They've done over 5,000 balcony inspections, and their approach and the use of AI technology is really disrupting the market, allowing them to offer the best price guarantee. So they'll be 20% off the inspection if their quote is higher than the competitors. So get a couple quotes, and then that way you can maybe get a better deal. And also just general questions related to the balcony inspections, you can give them a call, and they are here to help you with that. Our speaker today is Gregory Carlos, and he is a UC Riverside graduate and representative Dr. Balcony. He's been instrumental in raising awareness about SB 326 and SB 721, improving inspections and promoting safer buildings through local partnerships. And so, Gregory, it's great to have you with us today.
Thank
I'll
you
let you
so
take it
much.
over.
Yeah, no, thank you so much, Jeff, for having us today. It's always a pleasure to be here with AOA. We've been members for a while now, and we love our partnership with you. So thank you so much. And yeah, like Jeff said, my name is Greg. I'm here with Dr. Balcony, the Balcony Inspection Services. Apologies if my voice is a little muffled. I'm a bit under the weather today, but let's get started with this. I will be going through these slides a little quickly. So if you have any sort of questions, I know there's going to be some time at the end for Q&A. Please feel free to ask them on there if you need me to revisit any slide. A quick disclaimer, not an attorney. We're going to give our we're going to give the best advice that we can possibly give, but this is not legal advice. By participating in the webinar, you acknowledge and agree that we are not responsible for any decisions or outcomes that may result in the information shared. So with that being said, let's begin. Who is Dr. Balcony? We are the one-stop shop for any balcony inspection needs. Like Jeff said, we have helped over 5,000 properties achieve compliance with SB 721 and SB 326 ordinances. With a 20% price beat guarantee, you're guaranteed to always have the best price with Dr. Balcony. So we're really confident in our pricing, but if for any reason you do find a lower quote out there, please feel free to let us know, and we will always beat that by 20%. With it being the busier season now, we sometimes get rid of this promotion the last couple of months of the year. So make sure you take advantage of it now while it's still here. It'll still be here for the rest of this month. I know that much. And feel free to give us a call, and we'd be happy to give you that price match. Additionally, we're architects and engineers. We are not contractors. So you have no conflict of interest with us. We're not going to find any issues with your balcony just to, get a construction project. So with that being said, why are these laws important and why should you learn about balcony laws? So number one, to understand the SB 721 and 326 requirements, those deadlines are coming up, and you want to make sure that you're fully compliant. Number two, you want to be able to minimize your legal risks. And number three, this is about safety, right? So make sure that uh, your tenants are safe, your residents are safe, your loved ones are safe. So um, a lot of people may be a little annoyed about these laws, but they are a pretty big concern in the state and around the world. So annually, there are over 6,000 injuries that occur due to exterior elevated element related injuries. There are incidents. There is a 21% increase in balcony and deck failures annually, and there are over 550 trauma center admissions annually from exterior elevated element related incidents. There are over 140 children's deaths as well on average per year due to these incidents. So obviously, this is something that we're trying to get rid of and minimize, and no one wants to go through anything like this. So this is why it's a big concern. According to the California State Committee on Housing, more than 90% of these balcony failures over the last 20 years involved wood deterioration that went undetected. So that is what these laws are focusing on. We are looking for wood rot. That's the number one thing that we're looking at, for in these inspections. So hopefully we can prevent things like this from happening in the future. We're going to play a quick video for you here, and just keep in mind that these are only incidents that were captured on camera. It's about a minute long. A majority of these do happen in California. So let's play that here. So obviously some scary images there that we see, right? There are two incidents that were shown in that video that I'm going to focus on. First one being the 2015 Berkeley balcony collapse. This is what started these ordinances. So in 2015, 13 young adults were on a balcony when that balcony suddenly collapsed, and these 13 young adults plummeted 40 feet to the ground. Tragically, six of these students were killed and seven were severely injured. After further investigation into what happened and what caused this collapse, they found that it was due to dry rot. And what's really shocking is the building was only 9 years old. So most people would consider this a relatively new building. To put that into perspective, that is a building built in 2016 now. So really shocking there. And the reason that I'm also talking about the 2025 Silver Lake balcony collapse is because a lot of people say, or what I've heard a lot is, hey, well, why were 13 people on a balcony? Well, no, that's not the point, but the 2025 incident, right? It was a huge balcony, load bearing capacity of much more than four people, and there was only four people in the dock on that balcony, and that balcony suddenly collapsed, right? And this is only a few months ago here in our backyard, at least my backyard. I live in the Los Angeles area, and where four people and a dog, fell with this balcony. Thankfully, there was a second floor balcony that caught and stopped the fall. But if not, it could have resulted in much worse than just that one broken arm. But these incidents are still happening all around us, and obviously we want to minimize these incidents. And we never think it's going to be us. But, you never think it's going to be you until it actually happens to you. So, what's required for these laws, right? Or who do these laws apply to? So the SB 721 applies to any multifamily apartments with three or more units. The deadline for inspections was extended 1 year to December 31st, 2025. There is a minimum sample size of 15% of each type of exterior elevated element. So if you have 100 walkways, 100 balconies, 100 stairways, you have to have at least 15 balconies, 15 walkways, 15 stairways inspected. These inspections have to occur every 6 years, and the people that can do these inspections are structural engineers, architects, general contractors, or certified home inspectors with specific licensing. For the SB 326, on the other hand, this applies to condominiums and HOAs with three or more units. That deadline was actually not extended, right? A lot of people believe that this deadline was also extended to the end of this year, but if you live at a condominium or an HOA and your inspection was not done, please note that you are out of compliance. I'm sure you might already know that because you're likely already facing potential penalties. For as far as sampling size, typically all exterior elevated elements are going to be inspected for the SB 326. These inspections are every 9 years as opposed to 6 years for the 721, just because they're much more thorough. And the only people that can do these inspections are structural engineers and architects. So, though a lot of people know these as the balcony inspection laws, they do not just apply to balconies. They apply to anything that is 6 feet above the ground, has a walking surface meant to be walked on, and relies partially or wholly on wood for its structural stability and support. Additionally, must be on the exterior, exposed to natural elements such as weather. So, any balconies, walkways, decks, porches, stairs, landings, anything that meets this criteria is gonna need an inspection. On the very left-hand side of this photo, you're going to be able to see the cantilevered balconies. This is your typical balcony that you think about when you think about these inspections. Everyone's in agreement. This is going to need an inspection. But on the very right-hand side, you're going to have these balconies that are kind of tucked into the envelope of that building. They're not extending from that building, and a lot of people are going to believe, hey, something like this is going to be exempt from inspection, but it's not. It's still 6 feet above the ground. It has a walking surface that is intended to be used. It relies partially or wholly on wood for structural stability and support, and it's on the exterior. So something like this is also going to need an inspection. In the middle, you're going to have these Juliet balconies, which they don't have a walking surface. They're not meant to be walked on. And something like this is going to be exempt from inspection. So if you have any balconies as shown on the very right-hand side, make sure that you get those inspections done as soon as possible. Now, some other examples of exterior elevated elements. On the very left-hand side of this slide, you're going to see a landing and a stairway that are completely wooden. Those are exposed. You're able to see the wood joist, all wooden elements, all components of this exterior elevated element. Typically, this is going to be a visual inspection and possibly use a moisture meter test for this inspection. It's going to be very quick, very easy. In the middle, you're going to have a traditional enclosed exterior elevated element where it's going to be concrete from the top. But from the bottom, there's going to be stucco, and inside of that stucco, there's going to be wood, right? So even though you may not be able to see the wood with the naked eye, make sure that if you do have any stucco or if your exterior elevator element is enclosed, you make sure that you have no sort of wood inside of it. So for something like this, we're going to use Dr. Balcony's patented inspection method, where we're going to drill small holes about the size of a nickel. We're going to insert a boroscope camera, take detailed images of what's going on inside of that actual wood framing, and those photos are going to be presented to you during your report as well. Now, on the very right-hand side, you're going to have a stairway that is completely concrete and metal, and the walkway is actually also going to be completely metal. And for something like this, it's actually going to be exempt from inspections, right? So if you do have an example such as the one on the right, where it's completely concrete, completely metal, no wood, then you're going to be exempt and you don't need any sort of inspection. Now, people ask us for warning signs to look out for, right? To see, hey, am I maybe going to fail these inspections? So some warning signs would be cracks, rot, rust, unstable railings, signs of water intrusion on stucco, so water staining, whether on the surface or on the bottom of that exterior elevated element. And additionally, we have found that properties closer to bodies of water are going to have a higher level of failing just because there's higher levels of moisture in the atmosphere. And additionally, any balconies that have a lot of plants that are constantly watered, those are also going to typically have a higher failure rate just because that constant weight of the plants and then also the constant watering of those plants, that water will eventually seep into that balcony and could cause problems. So just some things to look out for. So I really like using this example for the entire process because it is a three-step process where you have to have an inspection, you have to apply for permits, and you have to do the construction. Now, this example stands out to me because for this property, we had an owner that was painting their balconies, but they were not using any waterproofing paint for these balconies. They were using just regular paint. And it actually looked really great from the first walkthrough. We found no warning signs. But then they let us know, hey, there are some dead spots. We are going to need a full inspection. And with Dr. Balcony's patented inspection method, we actually inserted the boroscope camera into the bottom of these balconies, and we found that those balconies were completely rotted. Right. So even though something may look good from a visual inspection, once you do the boroscope method, you're able to see the real condition of these balconies. And it's great that we caught this because if not, this would have ended in a tragedy sooner rather than later. As you can see from that second photo, the balcony was completely rotted. Now, what we did for this is Dr. Balcony can also help with the second part of the process, which is the permit application. During that permit application, I actually think this is the most important part of your process because what happens here is that this is where you're going to determine how the balcony is going to be repaired. So there's a million ways to replace any and repair any balcony, any walkway, any exterior elevated element. And what we specialize in is trying to find the easiest, most cost-effective way to do these repairs. So for something like this, you could have easily torn everything down and rebuilt the entire balcony. However, since we have no conflict of interest, we were able to make this a repair instead of a complete rebuild. And with this, there was some joist string that took place in that third image, and just by keeping this part of the previous structure. Even though it's rotted, we added some additional support. Just by keeping this, the owner was able to save over $10,000 on this project. So really important, make sure that you comply with all three steps of the process. So just to recap, the typical inspection process, we will you'll typically reach out to a company. They will give you a proposal for your inspections. Dr. Balcony gives free proposals for these inspections. We will determine a baseline number of how many exterior elevated elements must be inspected. After that, if it is an open exterior elevated element, it's going to be a visual inspection and a moisture meter. If the exterior elevated element is covered, then we're going to do a visual inspection from the top, and we're going to do our patented inspection method from the bottom, where we're going to drill the small holes. We're going to insert that boroscope camera. We're going to take those photos, and those photos are going to be present in your report. Now, what does your report need to include? So there are some things that have to be included by law, and make sure that whoever does your inspection is complying fully and making you a completely compliant report. So identification of all exterior elevated elements. This has to include photographs of the exterior elevated elements. So someone can't just tell you, hey, your balcony is rotted. They have to show you proof of that as well. Clear statement on the current physical condition. So whether it's a non-emergency fail, an emergency failure, or a pass. Notes on expected future performance. So the life expectancy of your exterior elevated elements. Maintenance recommendation or repair recommendations for the next steps, and it must be signed or stamped by either the engineer, the contractor, the architect, whoever's doing this inspection. Make sure that they are taking on this liability with that signature. Now, if you pass, you're going to be all good for the next 6 years for apartments, and you're going to be good for the next 9 years for HOAs. However, if you do have a failure, there's two types of failures. If you have a non-emergency failure, this is the most common type of failure. This means, hey, maybe there was some rotting or maybe there was some corrosion, but it's nothing to pose an immediate threat now, but you do have to address this so it doesn't become worse over this next 6 to 9 years and eventually does become an emergency. For something like this, the report has to be delivered to you within 45 days. Typically, Dr. Balcony is going to deliver this to you within a week or so. The permit application process is about 120 days. So you have 120 days to apply for any necessary permits. You can do it sooner, or you can wait the entire 120 days. That is completely up to you. Um, Once you apply for the actual permits, it typically takes about 1 to 2 months for cities to approve any necessary permits, just because they're so backed up right now with everyone trying to fix their balconies. And additionally, the once the permits are completed and the permits are approved, you have another 120 days to do the actual work. Cities are sometimes giving another 30 to 60-day extension on this as well. So if you think about it, from the moment you get your inspection results, if you really wanted to stretch out the process, you'd have over a year to do these actual repairs. So you do have quite some time. Get your inspection done now before the deadline, so that way you can start budgeting and planning ahead. If you have an emergency failure, this report must be given to you within 15 days of report completion. Typically, there's going to be either some temporary shoring, some additional support that's going to be installed, or sometimes you're going to have to restrict access from the balcony, right? It's a case by case scenario, but you have another 15 days to apply for any necessary permits. And then once those permits are approved by the city, then at that point you should commence the repairs as soon as possible. So for that permit application process, once again, this is necessary. Don't try to do your uh, repairs without the permits, because if you do something like this, typically you're going to need to start the process all over again. You're going to face potential fines from the city, and depending on whether you need something. You have a structural repair that's needed. If you do have a structural repair, such as rot, typically, cities are going to ask for plans that show how these repairs are going to be made. Uh, you're usually going to have to hire an architect or an engineer that's going to make these plans, submit them to the city. Once those permits are approved, you're able to hire a licensed contractor. I would recommend get these plans, get bids from multiple contractors, find the best price for you. They're able to pull this permit and commence the work immediately. Now, reminder, skipping any of these steps, it is a three-step process. Skipping any of these steps could result in the following. So difficulty in selling your property. HOAs are currently facing a lot of these steps right now, including difficulty selling their properties. Financing, refinancing, fines from $100 to $500 per day. Now, I haven't seen the $500 per day, but I have seen the $100 to $200 mark be assessed, and insurance is dropping you. So if you if you have an apartment, don't wait until the deadline, right? Get it done as soon as possible so you're not at risk of any of these penalties. If you have an HOA or a condominium, please make sure that you get that inspection done before these penalties are assessed, even though I'm sure you're probably dealing with some of these as we speak. Additional reasons to get this inspection done as soon as possible, budgeting purposes, right? As mentioned, unless you have an emergency repair, you're gonna have about a year or so to do the actual work. So it's really smart to get the inspection done now, budget appropriately, and get your repairs about a year from now. Additionally, this is about safety, right? So you want to make sure that your loved ones are safe, your tenants are safe, your residents are safe. And keep in mind, these inspections may be a couple of $100, maybe a couple of $1,000, depending on your property size. But as you can see on the screen, a lawsuit would result in much more than that, right? We have some statistics from previous lawsuits. So Berkeley, obviously, you can't put a price on those lives that were lost, but over a $20 million lawsuit there. Chicago, that one stands up to me because there were actually no deaths that occurred, but there was one injury, and that resulted alone in a nearly $5 million settlement. So it's a lot more cost effective to get this inspection done than potentially face any sort of lawsuit. Something that I will say is on our website, we do have these tools available for you, balcony inspection checklist, where you can download a checklist on how to prepare for your balcony inspections. Additionally, a balcony inspector checklist, how to prepare for your balcony, how to find the right balcony inspector for you, how to check credentials, how to make sure that they are fully compliant with the laws and all that stuff. So yeah. Uh, single family homes. Uh, Single family homes are not required to do inspections. Duplexes are also not required to do inspections, but if needed, we do offer this as well. So feel free to give us a call. Obviously, you want to protect your loved ones. And finally, why choose Dr. Balcony? Once again, we have a three-step quality control process where you're going to have your field operator, the engineer, architectural team all looking at your project along with our AI to make sure that we don't miss anything on your reports. We have conducted over 4,000 inspections throughout the state and helped over 5,000 properties comply with the ordinance. We do serve all of California from San Diego to Redding. We have the fastest scheduling with anywhere from next week to uh, down in December. We have people already scheduling from then. We have the quickest report turnaround time, about 3 days to a week, depending on your report size. We're powered by AI to give you the best results. With our no conflict of interest with our inspections just because we don't do the construction as well. And we have the best price guarantee. So we will beat any competing bid by 20%. And I believe that is it. Last thing I will say, if you wanted to bring us out for your property management company, we do individual lunch and learns, right, where we will present this, answer any questions in person if needed. So if that is something that you're interested in, feel free to reach out to us. But I believe that is it, Jeff. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you, Gregory. That was boom, just like a water hydrant there. So thanks for sharing so much. And if we have questions, I know we have some people watching. If you guys would like to enter your questions into the chat, you could do that now. And I really liked what I really liked, especially at the beginning of your presentation, was just the side-by-side chart with the SB 721 and for multifamily and then the one for condominiums. And it's key for people to know if they have a condo that they're actually it didn't get extended. And just how there's those little differences and who can inspect those and everything. So that's and the time frames and everything. So that's cool that you had that in there.
Yeah.
And yeah, let's see. So you have a lunch and learn. That sounds pretty good. Oh, they have to contact you.
Yeah, so we offer them for property management companies. If anyone here, maybe we had a property manager that attended today and they weren't able to bring their team, right? But they want to spread the message. We'd love to go out to their office, bring some lunch, give them the presentation, answer any questions they may have as well.
Great. And okay, they have a year to comply, a year after. So
Yeah.
obviously it's January, it's the end of the year that they have to at least have the inspection done. And then did you say it was 120 days after that
Yeah,
or
120 days to apply for any necessary permits. Once those permits are, those permits are going to take a couple of months for the city to approve them. After that, they have another 120 days to 180 days to do the actual work. So, 4 months to apply for permits, a couple of months of waiting for those permits, and another 4 to 6 months of construction work, right? If someone wanted to really drag the project out and spread the time out, they'd have nearly a year to do the actual work.
yeah. And before we started the call, you had mentioned something about security deposits.
Yeah, yeah.
And is there a specific product that you said you were offering? Could you share just a little, just real briefly about that product?
Yeah, of course. So, about that product, so it's about AB 2A01, right? For a lot of people that don't know, this is the new law for any unit has to document the photos of before the move in, after the move, before the move out, for any necessary repairs in order to deduct any deposits, right? So we have a new app where we are actually it's deposit proof. It's dedicated only for this ordinance, right? It's really easy to use. It's free, and hopefully it's going to help everyone comply.
Landlord or a tenant, avoid security deposit disputes with deposit proof.
With Deposit Proof, avoid the hassle and disputes, providing an easy onboarding experience for both landlords and tenants. Enjoy staying compliant without the challenges. Save time by uploading property condition photos and access with ease, whenever, wherever. Deposit Proof makes it simple to manage tenancy events, and both parties can enjoy a level of transparency, trust, and security like never before. Deposit Proof.
Yeah,
All
so
right, there
just a
it
bit
is.
about it, but if anyone needs help with the deposit proof side as well, that is something that we offer.
And that's depositproof.com. I
Yeah,
take.
depositproof.com, or you can download our app on the App Store, Deposit Proof. It's really
Mm,
simple to use. Like I said, we are offering it free. So yeah,
cool. And are you guys going to be at the trade show?
we are. We are.
Okay, well, we'll see you there. And that's August 20th.
Hmm.
And yeah, we're super excited about that. It's going to be lots of good speakers and vendors and everything. So it's going to be a great time.
Hmm.
And looking forward to seeing everybody there at
You as
that.
well. You as
Oh,
well.
what do you have here?
Oh, just the 6 months free for deposit proof, and
Oh, I see.
if anyone wants to reach out, we'll also send them a really cool Dr. Balcony water bottle. And Yeah, it's really cool. You can also come to the trade show. We'll be handing out these water bottles there. It'd be great to meet some faces and put a face to the name, and hopefully we can meet a lot of you there and get you guys signed up for your inspections and for deposit proof.
All right. Well, it looks like everybody's holding their questions till the trade show.
All right, sounds great. Thank you so much, Jeff.
Okay. Take care.
You as well.
Okay. Bye bye. Let's see. I think that did it.